A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for being part of this morning show. My name is Ram Aguko. It is a pleasure being with you right here on Y254. This is your number one youth station. We're coming to you live from the broadcasting house here in Nairobi, Kenya. Remember, we are also streaming live through our website, and that is at www.kbc.co.ke/Y254. Engage with us. We value your feedback. Let us know where you're watching us from. And of course, head over to our Facebook page and give us your thoughts in regards to this conversation that we are about to have today. This is Power Talk. As always, it is a pleasure being with you each and every Thursday. Remember, a repeat of this show airs again tonight and every Thursday at 10 p.m. Now, today we want to find out what is the way to a man's heart. I know many ladies always wonder, how can I get to his heart? How can I get to him? What is it that makes a man tick? Let's talk about men. Today it is the men's den, or the lion's den today. Helping me in this conversation, to my far right, I'm with Reinhard Bonke. He is a filmmaker and of course a content creator. Karibu sana, Reinhard.
Thank you very much.
I love that composure. And of course, next to me, with none other than Edwin Tiego, a pastor and motivational speaker, and of course, a conference speaker. Karibu sana, Edwin.
Asante sana.
Gentlemen, mko salama?
Kabisa.
Sana.
Tuongee kama wanaume. Because today we want these women to understand, all women to understand what a man wants. And unaona venye leo hata tumevaa leo. Today is just leo ni wanaume, and of course we are different types of men here in studio. We want to find out what is the way to a man's heart. Have you ever wondered, how can I get to him? You're wondering, tukijamiana, what should I do when he's mad? Is it about the money? Is it about food? Ni nini? Let's talk about this. The hashtag is Power Talk Show. Tag me at Ramaguko and at Y254 channel. That's where you can be able to engage with us. Now head over to our Facebook page, and even as you do so, like the page, follow us on our Facebook platform, and scroll down. You will see our post there, and drop in your comments on the comment section below. And I shall sample a bit of your feedback on Facebook and on Twitter as we continue with this morning conversation. The way to a man's heart. Let me start with you, Edwin.
Yes.
Given your opening remarks, do you think ladies don't know what the way to a man's heart is, and how important is this conversation in people's relationships?
It is important, considering that for you to get anything, you must have the details and the nitty-gritties about it. And therefore, I believe there are those who are aware, there are those who know, there are those who do not know.
There are those who know, those who don't know.
I believe the session will be informative. For those who do not know, they will know. For those who know, they will add value to what they already know.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. It is very important. Reinhard, do you think it's different for every man, or is there something that is general, like a skeleton or blueprint for most men?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'd say that the way into a man's heart is through the most simplest of the formulas ever. You see, like if you want to handle a technical algebra, you use the most simplest approach. It always gives the correct answer. True?
True.
Yeah.
True.
So if
The
you
simpler the method, the easier it is.
Yes. So sometimes ladies get to be very complicated, and they look like some big, enormous mountain. You just need to be very simple. Very, very simple. Trust me. If today I want to settle down into marriage, I will go for the simplest of all.
Okay.
You don't have to sound complicated. You don't have to come, twerking around, You don't have to do there is nothing special. Simplicity.
And is it different from every man?
It's kind of different because, again, men, we have different tastes and preferences. Yeah, there are people who'd like really going with the tough.
Yeah.
Those, that rough environment. And but it all ends into simplicity. Trust me. In as much as men, we are lions, and the lion is meant to, to guard the day and and be like
That's
the
right.
raw, right? But at the end of the day, even the most toughest warrior in the world, they always need the simplest of a woman.
Now, it makes me wonder. I'm looking at the types of men we've got. We have, and truth be told, we have different types of men.
Yes.
And let me be specific and particular. We have the alpha males. And we have the betas. And of course, there are so many. I can't mention all, but the alphas, the betas. I don't know is theta there? I don't know. but do you think that it is possible for a woman to, have a blueprint that when they know that in my next relationship I'll be doing this, and I'm sure that it will really cater for my man?
It's very, very possible. I believe the gist is at you getting to know how does this man think. When you get the thought pattern of the man, then you'll get to his heart, or you get to be close to him. Because what puts people together, or what separates people, definitely it's the mindset. Yeah, once you get to know how he thinks, how he reasons, then you can either get along or you can get adrift. That is what I would say. Yes.
Okay.
On my side, I'd have a different opinion.
Okay.
You see, Ron, right?
Ram.
Ram.
Yeah.
It's always not obvious. If I get into this relationship thing with a mindset, I have my rules written down. These are my principles. The other person comes in with their own rules and principles. Trust me, at some point, these rules will clash.
You can't apply one.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
the other.
because when you were forming the rules, you didn't form a tribunal and come together and say that, you know what, when I'm meeting this person, I need to know their rules and my rules. No, they formed their rules, whatever they were, and you did the same to yourself. So when you come together, I always say to my side, love is a choice. Just let it flow. No rules, no regulations. As you meet along the way, things will flow.
Would you be comfortable if a lady asks you this question? What are the things you like? What are the things you don't like? So that they can be able to get to know where your mind is, to gauge you.
Honestly, I have never loved that statement myself. Because number one, it's like setting mileage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you telling me, okay, I want to know this first, so I may make a decision in my heart whether to be with you or not.
Okay.
That's my side.
So with this knowledge, I use it as a thermometer.
Yeah, you see, Ron, in most occasions, the only reason why I want to know what you like, what you hate, this is going to include your past. I always say to myself, I was never there in your past. You had decisions to make. You had choices to pick from. And I have no idea why you had to settle on whatever you decided to settle on. So if I come in with the rules and I sit and listen, okay, this person does this person doesn't do this. I mean, does it really help?
Does it?
To me, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, because it just causes a lot of fracas. And because, trust me, look at this. 6 months down the line, you have a disagreement in the house or something in a relationship. Then somebody is here and telling you, no wonder you told me this the other day when I asked you what you like, what you don't like. You see, so
no wonder you used to do this.
Yes.
But
It's like a haunting background.
But they're trying to know the way to your heart, Diego.
There are things there to be discovered. There are things to be asked.
Yes.
So I would say that there are different categories of information in people's lives and how to get it. There are things you can ask directly. There are things you ought to discover them. You can't go about asking them. Because as much as you'd want to ask, the one you are asking may not be genuine enough to give you that information.
Gentlemen, let me ask you this question. So what are those things ladies should ask, and what are those things ladies should not ask, yet they want to know the way to your heart? They want to win you.
some of the things that you cannot ask, for instance, it's about the likes and the dislikes.
Come on,
you understand?
Diego. The likes,
You can't go around asking people what they like and what they do not like. That one you ought to discover. You cannot ask directly.
Can you ask a lady what she likes?
Sorry?
Would you like to ask a lady? Can you ask a lady what she likes?
I can't. I have to find out. That is what makes it very interesting. That is the mystery in it.
Then men are complicated also.
No, we are not. I mean, what is the reason for me asking you what you like and what you don't like?
To get to know you.
Basically, you'll tell me what is on your lips, not in the heart. It takes a whole eternity for you as a man to understand a woman and a woman to understand you. You may know about me, but you may never know me. That's why you hear like people live for 25 years in marriage, and then somebody's like, they do something, and you're like, what? You mean this is your true color? There is nothing about true color or anything. It's just because I wanted you to know what you asked. But because you're asking, then I'll have to withdraw and keep secret the other thing.
My goodness.
It's not being complicated, it's just reality.
I want the ladies to talk to me today. Would you want to know the things your man likes and the things your man doesn't like as a way of knowing his heart? Because this is a part of what his heart wants. And let me know, have you ever asked a man this kind of question and gotten the answer that you were expecting to get? Talk to me. Ladies, talk to me. What is the way to a man's heart? And I love the fact that you're saying, you know what, you don't like it if a lady asks such a question, yet the heart wants what it wants. What the heart doesn't want, it won't accept it.
You know, there are things which they are dependent on circumstances. They are dependent on attitude. They are dependent on personalities. That is why it cannot be all about a Q&A affair, a question and answer affair. There are things you subject to an environment.
All right.
And you get the result.
I think you'll have to share this one. Huh? Just give him this one.
Oh,
then
the
you
mic?
can share it. Yeah, give him that mic. I hear your mic is trying to show us it has an ego.
Okay. I was saying, Ram,
Yeah.
there are several factors that influence on how you'd get information from someone.
Yeah.
There are things which depend on personality.
Ah.
There are things which depend on environment. So it cannot be a question and answer affair.
Ah.
That is why I said in the first place, it is about you making a discovery, you getting to know what is it that I can do so that I can get the kind of information that I need about this person.
So
For instance, if you would want to get to me, there are people who have been around me for a very, very long time. Yeah? You can get to interact with them and they can give you accurate information about what I like and what I do not like. Contrary to you coming and asking directly that do you like this or don't you like this? There is an environment, if you subject me to, then you'll get what he has said, a true color of me in a given circumstance or in a given situation.
Let's talk about the environment then. You are a pastor.
Yes.
You go to church.
Yes.
And you are in this churchy environment. Is for somebody who goes to church, would you say the best way to know this man's heart is if you observe them in church? For somebody who goes to a club is if you observe them in a club amongst the ladies.
I would say it is relative, Ram. Considering that church, we take church to be like it's where people get to learn about things. You understand? But the real laboratory is outside there. The church environment informs that people have decorum. They are well behaved. You understand? But that is where they get to be fed. There is a place where they will go to execute what they are fed or what they get. So the church will not be the best place to observe someone's character or wanting to know how somebody behaves.
So the church is not
The same way we say,
Ah.
when you go to a wedding, don't take somebody's number in a wedding, because that day everybody is beautiful. Everybody has dressed to the part. But when you meet them somewhere else, you'll get to know whether indeed they are what they purport to be.
Let me come to you. But you see, yet I'm wondering then, what is the best place to know the true character of a man, if not the church where everybody lifts up their hands and they say, oh, hallelujah, or the club where everybody drinks and say, tunasiju tumelewa, you know?
On my side, I would say that environmental judgments is one of the most dangerous things you should never do, as a man and as a woman. Because as he said, you can take for this instance, I had a friend who spotted a girl, liked her, and because this girl was a church girl, this guy had to fix himself in the church for the girl. Do you know what? This girl ended up getting married to a different person in the same church. What happens to this man? He's frustrated, right? And he looks stupid.
So the girl was a church girl.
Yeah. Then I spot her.
The guy
I go after her. She falls in love with a different man in the same church. Remember, I had to go to church because of her. Environmental judgments, very dangerous. If you're going to church, the purpose of being there is worshiping, period. Do that, go home. If you're going to a club to have fun, to feel good, go there, have fun, feel good, go home. And one of the best scholars in the world, I think, someone called Copenhagen or somebody, he said that mostly love will always find a way to locate you at your best, at your worst.
Whether it is in what if it's in
wherever
church?
it is.
What if it's in church? How
You
we
see,
love?
you cannot like, for example, I take myself to a swimming pool place just purposefully because I want to get somebody. You will get people, yeah, you will, but you will get the worst that you're looking for.
The way to a man's heart.
It's not, I told you, it's just through the simplest of things. You have friends,
Yeah.
female friends, right? Have they ever asked you what you like, what you hate? Nope. I guess no. They don't. Friends don't.
Kuna mtu ananiambia ati sema ukweli.
Honestly, they don't. Do they? No, they don't. But trust me, your female friends, they know you. They know when you get angry, when you get mad, when you love, when you hate. They know your emotions, up, down. They know you. Why? Because they took their time to understand the you. But when somebody sits me down and asks me, tell me what happened to your last relationship. I mean, I ask you, okay, what does that have to do with you today? There's no comparison.
Now, let me come to you, Diego, and of course, I want to be very particular.
Yes, please.
A lady asks you this question: how many ladies have you dated? How did you break up with your most recent ex? To know the kind of a person that you are those wrong questions to be asked to know the way to this man's heart, or to know the kind of a heart this man has?
I would say they are not wrong questions. They are very right questions. It depends on at what point are they asking, with what intention are they asking.
Again. Okay.
And where are you in your relationship? You see, relationship is a journey, Ram. There is a place where you are coming from, there is a place where you are going. And depending to where you are in that journey, it will inform the kind of questions you will ask.
So after how long of being together should you ask that question?
If you have developed trust, if you've developed confidence, then I believe there are questions, it will be automatic. There are things you will not ask. There are things I'll be willing to open up unto you without you asking, depending on where we are with the relationship that we are having. So that is why I've told you it is not about Q&A. It is about how are you traveling this journey. That is why it is called a relationship. As you are relating, you understand, there are things which come to reveal themselves, you'll get to know. There is information you'll get without asking. Yeah? By virtue of you associating with me, there are people who will bring you information even without you asking. They say, oh, nowadays I see you with Ram. Do you know him well? You understand? When you get that information, how do you react to it? The way you react to it will tell me whether you are building trust and confidence in me or whether I should also raise questions about you.
Reynard, there are people who ask the question, what is your body count? and you know the reason why they do that is to know the kind of a heart you have. Are you a loving person? Are you caring, a caring person? How did you guys break up? You know, that's what they're trying to find out. Are they the wrong questions? And you're, I'm wondering, Tego is saying that there is a time to ask these questions. I'm wondering then what is the time? Are they the wrong questions?
Honestly, they are not even the worst questions.
They're the worst.
Because I can never tell you how many ladies I've slept with. What is the relevance of that?
To know the kind of a heart you have.
I mean,
whether you are a player.
I mean, okay, being player or being faithful doesn't have anything to do with someone having 1 million body counts or 10 million. No.
So you can have a very high body count and you're not a player?
Yes. Why? See, Ron. Now, let me ask you. You just meet a girl today. You like her. And then you're like, can I take you out for coffee? You meet out there. And then the first question is your body count. I'm like, come on, baby girl. Are you some detective or what? I can't answer that question. Honestly, I can never. Never.
Is it a runoff?
It is
Will
not.
you shut them out?
No, you don't shut them out. There's wisdom. Yeah, there's always a way on how to combat every question and every situation, even the most complex.
Okay, let me move on to something else. They say that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Food. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that is to some percentage. You see, men, especially when they are satisfied, like bodily, omekula, they are now good. They tend to be very calm, understand?
Yeah.
Very polite. Yeah? Look at yourself when you're broke. You just get mad, angry. You're like, what? Everyone is like, what's wrong with you? But when you have some cash on you, you're calm, you're cool, you're composed. So when your man is satisfied, and good food, not just, mixing some funny things on the table and saying, no, good food, trust me, they will always be whatever you want them to be. You
Ladies,
can win them by any means.
Ladies, do you agree with this? Mpike chakula mzuri and you have won him completely.
Can you imagine, do you imagine when we were growing up and then your sister or someone brings food to the table and she did not do salt well, so it's like overdone.
Yeah.
Do you remember the facial expressions around the people around the table?
They'll be pissed. Huh?
Yeah. That is why I'm sorry, you're a pastor, right? You'll see them. You'll see them during weddings. During weddings, they tend to educate the just new couples. And food is always the most important thing they mention. Prepare it well. Make sure your measurements are balanced. And this man, if he looks away, then he has a problem.
He has a problem. Is that true? And why do people like talking about food a lot?
Food is a charm, Ram. Yes. It's a very important aspect to a man's life. That is why you hear them say that the way to a man's heart is through the stomach. And mostly, when we begin to analyze food, culturally, in any other way, it is a charm. Niliambiwa na mtu mahali, when you go somewhere and you are going to ask for your debt, if they give you food, do not eat, because after you eat, you will not hautadai deni.
Okay.
So food is a charm.
So stay hungry and
Yeah.
you'll demand for what they owe you.
We have an African proverb that says, a hungry man is an
Angry man.
You understand?
Yeah.
So definitely, if you are a lady who knows how to cook well, but now it also needs to be a combination of factors. Because if it could be all about food, yeah, then all ladies who are chefs, today they could be married. You understand? So I would say it is one of the factors. It is not all.
Say it again.
In all.
Repeat
Yes,
it again.
food is one of one of the factors.
No, the part where then all will be married.
If at all, if at all,
It was about food.
it was about food, then all ladies who are chefs, they could be married. You understand? The same way we say if it could be about sex, then all prostitutes today, they could be having husbands. So
You're jumping the gun. Don't go there first. Let's come to food.
it is a combination of factors. That is why I said it is very, very much important for any lady who is interested in any man to get to know what is the thought pattern of this man.
Now, I
Men tend to be very, very technical. So it means we are speaking about the aspect of food. So it means even if it is about that food, you need to know on the technicality of the food. How is it served? Why is it that there are many men who went to our neighboring country, Uganda? It is because they were told in Uganda,
Hey.
they serve men when they are kneeling down. And they tell you, turabano, turabano, banange, turabano.
What does that mean?
They tell you, relax.
Ah.
I've brought you food. There is a TikTok video that was doing rounds on how women present food. Yeah? And they were saying, there are those ones who are, I will not mention where they come from. They say, ndio hiyo chakula hapo.
They use their right leg.
They do that?
Their right leg. Can I add
Nani anasema ati hao ni wa Kenya. Kenyan ladies, do you point at the food with your right leg? No ile chakula.
Yeah.
Chukua chakula.
I mean,
Yes.
just to add something little about the food.
No.
In the olden of times, when the world was beginning, there was Adam, there was Eve. Eve had a million ways of getting through Adam, right? And I'm sure she did. But then some tricker comes in and realizes that the only way to connect this woman to this man is by bringing something to eat.
The apple.
Yeah, don't overthink, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So you can imagine. I tend to imagine to myself, maybe Adam was able to resist every other thing that this, whatever it was, would have come with. But when Eve came carrying a fruit, something that can be eaten, something he can chew and swallow, boom. That was it.
She won him.
That was it.
Now, are we saying, and I'm very careful to when it comes to this particular aspect, because I know the feminists are going to really talk much here. Are we saying that women must know how to cook?
It's really a requirement. Yeah,
Diego?
it is a requirement.
Because
When we come
if she doesn't know how to cook,
When we come to
Things are
roles
done,
and
huh?
responsibilities, it is very, very important for a woman to know how to cook. I know there is what you've mentioned about feminism and what have you. But you know, when it comes to roles, the woman owns the kitchen. The kitchen is about the woman and the woman is about the kitchen. Let us forget about being Westerners here. It is important for a woman to understand how to cook. Not only how to cook, but also how to present that food to a man. It matters on how you do it, because that is a point of relating.
Before we talk about who presentation, this aspect of cooking, there's some women who say that, you know what, I am going to work. You are also working. Why should I be the one to cook? Why should I be confined to the traditionalists' points of view of who should cook? Just to win you. Why can't you also cook for me?
It is possible. I can cook for you, but it shouldn't be conditional. You understand? We are speaking about roles here, Ram.
Yeah.
Roles. And that one, we should not run away from that factor.
Let me hold you there. I want us to take a short break, Timothy. I want us to take a short break. We'll be back in a bit. And of course, it's all about understanding what is the way to a man's heart. Is it through food? Is it through money? Is it through the constitutional affairs? You tell me. What is the way to a man's heart? And of course, head over to our Facebook page and drop in your comments on our Facebook page there. Like the page, follow the page, and give us your thoughts. Let us know where you're watching us from, and I shall sample your feedback in the second half of this morning conversation. Today, one final role is the main way to a man's heart. And of course, ladies, after this break, let us know, what did you do to win him? Na akikasirika, huwa unafanya vipi? This is Power Talk.
Y254. Imagine.
And of course, this is Power Talk. Welcome back. My name is Ram Aguko. It is a pleasure being with you. And of course, today is all about understanding what is the way to a man's heart. Let us know. Head over to our Facebook page. And of course, let me just sample a few of your feedback, Pale. This is Ancient Friday, anasema county number 22 tuned in. Asante sana. This is Nen Njambi, anasema tuned in. I think the best way to a man's heart is always supporting and being his happiest chapter. Okay. And you tell us what you think about this. Wambere Morin anasema a man's heart. I love anacheka. This gender will embarrass you. Yeye ni venye anataka tu. I bet we all have flaws. You can do all the good deeds you think of, lakini it's upon him to decide, cause anaweza patana na mwingine until he decides ni yeye na anafanya zero. Hey, that's a strong one. That's a strong one. You tell. Msafi Kaya anasema tune in from Karatina Car Wash. Asante sana, good morning to you. Thanks to Shimaya anasema interesting. Meshak Montez anasema anaenda hivi na rudi hapa. Unaenda wapi? Kanusia Trupiza anasema I'm right here with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much Rasha and Ambrose. Asante sana. Dennis Kiberenge anasema tuko ndani. Keep talking to us. Head over to our Facebook page and you'll see what's going on there. And of course, we shall continue talking about this, engaging with you right on the Facebook page. Reynard Bonke is joining me today, and Edwin Tiago. Gentlemen, before we went on the break, we were talking about the way to a man's heart. But before we get to the next part, maybe your reaction to what one of our viewers has mentioned. Let me start with you, Edwin.
Yes, there's the lady who has mentioned about... she has mentioned the first comment that you... The comment in regards to support, yes.
Support.
Yes.
Do I look for it again?
Kindly.
All right. My goodness, imepotea.
Yeah, just to give a rejoinder over the same.
Yes.
The best way to get attached to a man is to understand the vision and the dream that this man has. And when you become a partner to build that vision and that dream, then you'll be very, very close to him.
Nimepata.
Yes.
Anasema the man's heart, this gender will embarrass you. Yeye ni venye anataka tu. I bet
not that one. There's another one.
Not that one.
Yes.
The Ganyo.
The one.
Jambi, I think Jambi something.
Yeah, she spoke something about a chapter, something.
Support.
Yes.
Support. All right. All right. Proceed as I look for that.
So I was saying, when you get to know the dreams and the vision of a man, and you support those dreams and those visions, you become his cheerleader. You understand? I've heard the other one say ni venye anataka tu. It's not about that. It's about you understanding what is his vision, what is his dream. Become a cheerleader
I found it.
to
I
that
found
vision,
it.
to that dream.
I found it. So this is Njambi alikuwa anasema tune in. I think the best way to a man's heart is always supporting and being his happiest chapter. That's what you okay, so.
Yes, supporting, being very, very supportive.
Okay.
You see, the problem with many ladies, when they come to a life of a man, they first of all see a lot of things they need to change.
I want to change him.
You want to change. There are things you want to change. First of all, accept him
As
the way
he is.
Hey, accept him as he is, first of all. And then when you begin to see what you need to make an adjustment to, give it the best approach you can give it. Not attacking, but giving it an approach that can help him see the way you are seeing.
Now,
because
how
you
can
may be seeing the best thing, you may be seeing the best amendment that you need to make, but your approach to that amendment is what pushes him away instead of him.
Okay. But then how can you win him over if the very first thing that you see in him, yes, you like him, but there is one thing that is always predominant that you do not like about him. You are a church person.
Yes.
Let's say a lady sees you and says, you know what, yes, you go to church, but there is a particular spiritual level that I want you to achieve. Or somebody who doesn't go to church, and the lady is a church girl, as he was saying, and he wants to bring this man into church. And you want to win his heart. Yes, you want to support him. How do you do that?
First of all, this is the advice we give to most believers. I'm sorry, I'll be a bit biased on that.
Okay.
That if you are a believer, the best way to move on in life, relationship-wise, look for a believer. Don't look for an unbeliever believing somewhere or somewhere you'll be able to change them. That one might be a bit difficult. You understand? When it comes to change, there are things in people's lives you can change them. There are things in people's life you will learn to live with them. There are things in people's lives you will have to, in one way or another, just adapt. Yeah?
So just support them.
You need to know what is it that can be changed, what is it that cannot be changed, and make a decision basing on that.
All right.
So if you cannot change it, you can live with it, fine, go ahead. If you cannot change it and you're not ready to live with it, go your way.
Wow. Wow. The way to a man's heart.
Yeah, I'd say three things. Number one, men and women. Please, this is advice. When you get into a relationship, do not be radical. Don't get a fixed mind and say that it has to work this way. It's either my way
Or the
it's
highway.
no way. You understand? There's always another way in everything. Number two, men are also emotional beings. We break, we cry. That's true. Yeah? No, don't laugh at me. I see what you're trying to do.
All right.
So you can imagine, if you want to be this person's support system, number one, you must be able to humble down and understand them. Even if this person is rough, whichever level they are, there is a way that. Have you ever realized that sometimes when you're arguing with a woman, they don't ask you questions because they want answers. They ask you questions because they have answers, but they want to hear what you have to say. Yeah?
Other men do that.
Not men, ladies.
No, do men do that?
No. Okay, I've never seen that.
Men don't do that?
No, I've never seen that. I've never done that. When a woman asks you, are you seeing somebody? Oh boy, relax. Don't answer. Breathe. Think twice. Then find the correct answer. Because probably she has the answer. She's just waiting for you to flip your tongue. And then she's like, I knew it. I said it. You see? This is it. So every day is a decision day, true?
Yeah.
Every day life changes.
Yeah.
People graduate from one position to the other. Somebody the other day said that the best way to grow is like a flower. It never cares what happens around it. As long as the sun is up there, it targets the sun, it grows, and that's what makes it beautiful. So I would tell the ladies out there, if you really want to be my support system, then you have to understand how I feel, how I reason, how I react. And if you're not okay with that, I bet we are not meant to die together, right? Yeah.
Or in a marriage setting?
In a marriage setting, understanding. And trust me, you can never lower your principles just because you want to fit in someone into your life. It can never work like that.
So, are we saying, let me get it straight here, because now we are reacting to that particular comment.
Yes.
Are we saying that sometimes even when it comes to support, you can only go so far, that there's a distance that when you get, you just have to withdraw?
Yeah, for example.
So you just leave that whole journey of getting the way to his heart, you stop it and you
No.
look for another heart to find it your way through.
You can never quit. Losers quit. Winners never quit. There is always a better way to do everything in this life. Trust me. He said that about kitchen cooking and stuff, right? That's support, Njambi. I'm talking about Njambi.
Yeah.
And then you said we both go to work. We leave
Yes.
early in the morning. Sometimes if we have kids, maybe she has to wake up earlier than you, prepare the kids, prepare breakfast, make sure they go safely to school. Then both of you come back later in the evening and she has to go right into the kitchen. I mean, honestly, don't you think you're turning her into a donkey or something? I mean, honestly, if I am a father and I have a girl, I would never want her to go through such kind of a hell.
So, would you cook?
Yes, with all humility, because number one, if I got into the kitchen putting on a blue jeans, when I walk out, I won't have a black jeans because I cooked. No.
I know ladies who are watching today, najua wamepiga vigelegele.
I mean, it makes sense. Sometimes, look at this.
Yeah.
When my mama was alive, sometimes I would see her get tired, exhausted. Like literally you can see this person is struggling to do whatever she's doing. Huh? Then you can imagine all men in the house are seated. Huh? Legs on the table, legs on seats, and just there, watching and waiting for food. Honestly, it doesn't make no sense.
I'm seeing here, there is a comment here by Michelle Stella. And Auliza, are you married? Because I'd like to be your second wife. Reynard.
I'm not married. No, I'm not married.
Umesema you can cook
the
for
second
them.
wife doesn't work. So.
They are going to follow you outside this gate. Yeah. Can you cook also? Can you cook, Tiago?
I do cook. Not can I cook.
You do cook?
I do cook.
The
The only thing I was saying, you see, there are circumstances you can understand and you can be able to come in.
Okay.
I meant there are responsibilities which cannot be delegated. And if you listen to me very well, I said, even if a man can cook, you do not have to put it to be conditional that you have to do the cooking. Or tuna set duties, tunasema ati from this day to this day you'll be able to cook. As he has said, when you see where you need to come in and assist, it's very, very important for you to do what? To assist. Because you are in a relationship. Therefore, in doing so, there are responsibilities which cannot be delegated. Yes. There are responsibilities as...
Just wait. Nani, you have comments there? Bring it up. Nani, Timothy? Timothy, bring those comments that you just brought from Facebook. Yes. This is. I want you to comment on this on this comment, Tiago.
Yes, please.
From Humble Meek KE, I believe so. He's saying tuned in from Mtwapa straight out to 26 Lifestyle. Big up to all big homies from the hood. Supporting and understanding your man is the best way to a man's heart. I like that accepting idea. Supporting and understanding your man. As you are talking,
Yes.
it's something you've said that I believe is connected to this particular comment here.
Yes, please.
Now, an understanding man is what most ladies say they have a problem with. He's not understanding. Is he understanding? So they wonder, how can I make him become an understanding man?
Yeah, the problem has always been on perspective. Any moment you speak about understanding, you bring in the question of perspective.
Yeah.
Interpretation. How do they get to interpret things? I'll give a good example that I was listening to one couple, the Kingsleys. There is
Yeah.
a wonderful couple. They are called the Kingsley Okonkwo. They are very good in relationship matters. And Kingsley says that this is how both genders interpret things. A man is very competitive. Yeah? For instance, if they were dating or they were in a relationship, the moment they wed, he feels he has achieved all that he needed to do. He says, let me get over this wedding thing, and at least we can be able to work out things. A lady feels that once they have wedded or once they are married, now life has begun. Love wants to begin. So when you bring those both perspectives together, you can know from what point can you help the couple to get to understand one another. Because one feels they have just finished the project, and the other one feels now the project is beginning. How do you get to bring those two together? So knowledge and understanding is the most important foundation when it comes to any relationship. So you need to know as a lady, how do I keep this going? Because for me, I have just started. For him, he has just finished. How do I keep this going?
Okay.
So once you are able to have a perspective to it, which is right to both of you, then you'll get moving.
Reinhard?
On my side, I'd say that understanding is very simple. The only problem I have with human beings is sometimes we are forced under subjective understanding. It's a forced understanding that, you want me to understand you, but you're trying to bring things in a way that even yourself, if I was to bring this the way you're bringing, you won't understand me. So subjective understanding is very dangerous. If it's understanding, let it be genuine. Let me use an example. If, for those who are married out there, if you have a problem with your woman, for example, and you realize that, in as long as they are grown-ups, they'll always behave like babies. That's a fact. So and particularly every man has a boy. The boy inside of them. You understand? So look at this. This lady is there. She ain't talking to you. It's a whole day. As a man, she is expecting you to understand her in her silence.
And call her.
In her silence. She ain't talking. She ain't saying nothing. But then she expects you to understand that, boy, I'm not talking. What you gonna do now? Let me see what you're made of. It's your job. Now, this is where things like cooking comes in. Have you ever imagined that every time you prepare a meal for your fiancé or somebody, the happiness is another level? They look jovial. They look like life is in them.
But you see, Reinhard, let me. I'm trying to get this point out here. Yes, she's quiet. Yes, she is mad. What about you as a man?
What about me? What? Getting mad?
You can. You also get mad. You can also be quiet.
You see,
is it always going to be that you look for her, you propose to her, you look for her, you seduced her, you got her to say yes to you, and now you, in an argument she's quiet?
Look at this. I don't know if I do things the wrong way, but the way I do it, if she is angry, at the very moment, you won't talk to her, you give her space. Then count down. As the sun goes down, count down before you guys get to bed. Because obviously that night, she might decide to spend the night on the couch, and it might be so foolish of you as a man to allow her spend the night there.
Now, in the case where a man is angry, you're pissed. There's a lady watching you today and is wondering, how can I get through to him? How do you get through to a man who is pissed off at you?
The way into a pissed man's heart, as I said, simple. Number one, no talk back. The first thing. You know, for men, most men, when they get angry, they use their hands. Anything that is available. That is how they express their anger, which is the most. I don't know whether there is English like wrongest or something, but it's the worst thing. If this person is angry, stop talking. Number one, just be silent. Let them express themselves, and then later on, come back in a very smooth way. And you can tell them, you know what? There is something you said or you did, and honestly, I never liked it. Because at the end of the day, this is somebody that you want to live with in your life, right? So if they are pissed and you're pissed, and now everyone is at a high temperature, what is the end result of that?
All right.
Yeah, you'll be fighting.
Now, there is somebody who has said that we should hide their name. No, don't worry. We are going to keep your privacy. Your privacy is our number one priority. Amesema, admin, hide this, but read this. Okay. When I found my man, I totally changed him into a good man, and in all aspects to an extent that the parents admitted the good job done. After 3 years, he chose another woman over me simply because of my body. I had a tummy, while the woman had not only to realize she was married. Men do what they want. It's not all about how good and responsible you are.
You see, the first mistake she ever did, she changed this man. He said, don't you ever try to change anyone else.
But you see here, Reinhard,
yes,
this man has improved. Her character changed. Her behavior changed because of this particular woman, and only for him to leave her because of her body and move on to another woman.
You know, look at this. Probably when this thing was happening, I am not profiling anybody, but when this thing was happening, the changing period, this person had a self-centered interest, singular focus. Yeah? Now, look at this. This woman has done everything possible. Why would you change somebody and then after 3 years, they realize that they don't like you, they don't like your body? That means they didn't fall in love with who you are. They fell in love with the perspective that you had about them.
Tego? And of course, you also give us a man of God's perspective in regards to this particular issue.
I would say this, that in any relationship, the metamorphosis should be both ways. As you are changing him, also ask yourself, what is it that needs to change in you so that you can be compatible? Because you are changing so that you can be compatible.
So
you want him to change to suit something that is in your life.
So you're
ask
saying
yourself,
if I want to get to his heart,
yes,
I should also give him the ability to find his way to mine.
Definitely. Because a relationship is about 100%.
Okay.
Both of you need to bring 100%, and we need to remain with 100%.
Yes.
So if you bring 100% and she brings 100%, what do we have?
A good percent.
We have 200%, right? So it also means there are things that she needs to cut off. There are things you need to cut off so that you can be compatible.
Now for this woman.
And we remain with 100%. For this woman, I would say there is something that she lost track of. Yeah? Yes, she was busy changing the man. It was impressive. Even the parents commended her and they say there is a lot that has changed. Yeah? And it was about the personal development of the man. You see? It was about the personal development. There was the other factor. Yeah? As he was changing, were they becoming compatible? She has been very clear and she has mentioned there is something that made the man go to the other lady. You understand? She
developed a tummy.
She took the man as a project. You understand? And she forgot about herself. They were to become intimate and compatible. The man appreciated what he was doing. It was for his own personal development.
Lakini,
but they were not.
Tiago.
Yes, please.
Men. These women want to find out a way to your heart, and through that they are trying to make you a better person. only for you to leave them because of their body, is that right? Even if we were to go to another planet,
I
that
would say
right?
it is not right. Yeah?
Because
And
many women struggle with their tummy.
one, as a man of God, I will never advocate for adultery. I will never advocate for one jumping from one woman to another. We have always come to this conclusion that whatever we are looking for in women, it is the same. You understand? But getting to learn one another and to know one another will make the relationships be sustainable, will make them last. It is a learning process. That is why we say take a relationship as a project, as an architectural project. Look for what is foundational. Work on it. Get to build on that foundation as you move on. So my brother here began by saying it is very, very simple. The gist is in the simplicity.
All right. Let me come to you. You giving your thoughts in regards to this particular complaint.
Probably. I don't know that person. I have no idea the truth behind whatever this person is saying. Because for how long again did it take this person to see the tummy and just walk away? I mean,
3 years.
do I just wake up today in the morning and look at your tummy and then say, uh-oh, I don't like this tummy and I'm out?
That is what she's not telling.
No.
They must
It
have
doesn't.
had some problems.
How many women do we have in the world today with tummies? And they are happily married. Yeah?
So men don't care about your tummy.
Look at this. I said, this person was busy changing this man to fit her description.
All right, let me move on. Still, on you, Reinhard, because
Yes.
of the interest of time. I want us to touch on yet another thing. How or where do house girls get it right? And
Oh, God.
how do we have house girls who end up going away with people's husbands? How do they get to these men's hearts?
Oh, number one, I can never blame no house girl because they are human beings. They have feelings too, and they see what you as a wife don't want to see in that house. Number one. Number one, you are a woman.
Yeah.
When when your husband and you got married, you were only two. There was nobody else, no child, nobody else, right? Now it comes to this position where every time when the man walks into the house, who picks the briefcase? The maid. Yeah?
Yeah.
Who picks the car keys? The maid.
The maid.
Who prepares you for shower? The maid.
The maid.
Who prepares your bed for rest? The maid.
Your clothes.
Who brings your food to the table? The maid. Who does what and what in the house? The maid. Who prepares the kids to school? The maid. The husband sits down, looks at you, and realizes that one thing, you are the laziest woman in the world. Number one. Because if you can just sit down and let somebody else do all the house chores just because there is someone to do this job, then the question is, if this person can do all the other services, what about answering some few questions somewhere? They will do it. Yeah? I'm talking to you, Ron, specifically. Yeah, so we don't blame the maids. It is the women in the house who have given them that authority. There's a time, I'll not say, admin, please, don't disclose this. There's a time I was somewhere and I sent somebody a maid. Do you know what happened? After some time, I had complaints. The maid walks around the house like a boss. Why? Because she has captured the attention of the man in the house. So you are not my boss anymore. You are my fellow woman. So don't tell me nothing. We are equal.
Because who made us equal? The responsibilities that I have been doing.
Yes.
Or the man
in
of
the house. Can you imagine a maid getting into the bedroom, your bedroom, preparing your bed while your wife sits in the sitting room watching TV?
Tiago, the way to a man's heart, are house helps getting it right?
You need to ask yourself, what is it they discovered that the housewife did not discover? I'm making a disclaimer. I'm not advocating for housemaids to take anyone's husband, but we are saying
We are not.
that it is very, very much important when it comes to roles, responsibilities that you need to play as a wife. Don't neglect them and leave them to the maid.
Now, what should these women, these wives do? You're saying, don't neglect your roles.
Yes.
What other things should they do?
They should mark their boundaries right,
How?
ensuring that they are having the space. Responsibility is about space. You ensure that you're marking your space. You, if it is serving food to your husband, Ron, I'm very, very particular about this. Ensure you are the one who is serving food to your husband.
Yes.
If it is doing laundry, even if it means ironing, yeah, go to the bay where they iron from and make sure that you're the one who brings the clothes to your husband.
Interestingly, let me come to the church setup.
Yes.
There's some people who serve pastors food well, better than their own.
We don't advocate for that. We are.
Is that true?
This is a good one. Let me tell you one thing, yeah?
Yeah.
One thing that men love is respect. You understand? Respect, right? So you ensure anywhere you are, you give your man the highest respect.
So
That
respect is a way to a man's heart
it is key. Let me say it is the
All
the
right.
pertinent point.
All right.
If at all you want to get to a man's heart, respect him. I was speaking about respect.
Yeah.
You've heard of issues that there are secretaries who have gone with their bosses. Why? Respect. There are housemaids who have gone with their bosses. Why? Respect. When this man discovers that, oh, this one respects me more than my wife does, then the interest begins to develop from there. So we are telling ladies, the only way you can get to contain a man. Umeisikia mtu akileta fujo mahali ram, na anaambiwa acha tuite bibi yako. Na anatulia.
Hey, anatulia.
What makes that happen? It is because this lady has understood how is it I can tame this man.
She knows the buttons to press.
And this man calms down and say, oh, it is Mama Nani who is around. Let me relax.
Renard, come over to you. Hey, my goodness, time imeenda. And of course, after Renard speaks, see Timothy, bring up that comment and then we finalize. All right.
Okay. I just wanted to say something so quick.
Yeah.
You were talking about that.
The cooking part?
The respect.
The respect. Okay.
Look at this, ladies out there. If you sit with your man, wherever they are, don't you ever try to show your friends that they can be more important than this person, even if he is a Mr. Useless to you. Don't. It is the only way you are killing him. And when he dies, he doesn't die alone. He dies by making sure that your life is frustrated.
So do not even disrespect him even in public.
Don't you ever try to do that. There is always an amicable way to getting into solving solutions in this life, right? I mean, you deserve respect, you have your dignity, and I deserve mine. There is no way that because you are a pastor, you come into my house and then you're given warm water to clean your hands, and every day I do cold water in this house. It doesn't, I mean, what? No way.
You know, when the pastor enters the house, they bow, they kneel, and
so you see, yeah, in that setup, that's pretext, right? And it kills down the line.
the way to a man's heart. Timothy, bring up that comment. Sijui nani anasema this is Caro. Timothy, quickly. Hiyo ni nani huyo? Caro Cheplay anasema tuned in from Kaongore. I like the talk. Anasema kwanza hapo kaka amesema kupika ukiwa kwa jeans ya blue. Cooking can't change the color to black. Thumbs up, bro. Nilikwambia utapata. That's Caro.
Thanks, Carol.
I want us to bring this conversation to a close, gentlemen, and I want to give you guys to have a final word. Briefly, the way to a man's heart. What is your final word, Reynard?
First of all, thanks, Carol. Thumbs up too. I would say that men are not complicated beings. God created us in the most simple way. When you were coming into my life as a woman, God had to make you go to sleep me, right? So that
Yeah.
you can come out of me. So do this. Just be simple, like it was from eternity. No complications. Do not overthink. Just come as you are. Present yourself as Jerry or as Atieno or as Akinyi or as Kola, whoever you are. Just be yourself.
As you are.
Don't try to change me because I won't try to change you. Everything will happen at its own best time. And as they
All right.
say, time always tell.
Thank you so much. Tiago, I love what he said. The man had to sleep for the woman to come. The man was at peace.
A woman is
Briefly,
meant
10
to
seconds, yeah.
complement a man. So as you are coming into my life, ask yourself, what is it that you are coming to complement? As I said earlier, know what is my dream, what is my vision, and become my number one cheerleader. That is how you will get to my heart. Finally, respect, respect, respect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Edwin Tiago, pastor, motivational speaker. Reinhard Bonke, an actor and filmmaker. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. We are discussing the way to a man's heart. I hope you've learned something. Ladies, I hope you've learned something. And of course, if there is something you feel you agree or disagree with, keep talking to us on our Facebook page. That's at Y254 channel. And of course, let us know where you're watching us from. My name is Ram Aguko. It brings us to, that is what brings us to a conclusion on this morning conversation. But as always, we cannot end without a quote. Bring it up to Timothy. A quote of the day. You can't measure what's inside a man's heart. Do you agree with that?
Sure.
You can't measure what's inside a man's heart. And that is what brings us to the end of this morning conversation. A repeat of this show airs again tonight at 10 p.m. My name is Ram Aguko, and this is Power Talk.